Well, this is my first live stream, I guess. Um, I'm actually gonna do things a little bit different than usual. Uh, I mean, I'm still gonna be an asshole because, well, I'm a fucking asshole, but you all deserve it. I can't help it. I call it as I see it. But really, just kind of want to talk about the last month that I've had, which has been a absolute disaster when it comes to my bipolar. I've had three what I would consider major episodes so far. I was in the hospital for roughly a month. The second one that I had, I stopped eating for about 3-4 weeks. I ended up losing about 100 pounds, and I had to get 16 rounds of electroshock therapy just to even have an appetite to eat again. Unfortunately, with all those, I lost the ability to speak, I guess, as fluently as I do now. I probably lost roughly half of my vocabulary, and it took several. It definitely took several months for it to come back. But the one thing that didn't come back out of that little episode was about a third of my memories, um, including uh, my wedding, which is, it's kind of something you want to remember, seeing as how it's something kind of special. And I couldn't remember it at all. So me and my wife, we ended up having to do a second wedding just so I could experience it. And I've had to go through a lot of pictures that I had and just end up throwing them out, because every time I would see them, I would be in them with people that I know and some people that I used to know that I don't know anymore. And it would just, like, that fine line between anger and just utter despair. And even now, I'll be talking to someone and they'll be like, "Oh, hey, remember that one time?" And I fucking don't. Like, I really don't. And it is probably one of the hardest things that I've had to deal with so far with this disorder. Just not remembering my life. I mean, you basically they basically say you are made up of your memories and experience, and I don't have them. Like, I have enough to get by, but nowhere near as much as I want. And not only that, but a lot of things that I used to enjoy, I completely flipped after it was all said and done. Um, I used to be a real big Bears fan living in Chicago. I haven't watched a Bears game in 2 years. I haven't turned on a television, like, by myself. I haven't actively turned on a television in 3 years. In fact, it's so bad that I don't even like being in the same room if a television is on, because that's how much it just irks me at the fact that I used to like it. I used to have shows I watched. I used to watch Game of Thrones. I used to watch NCIS. Me and my wife used to watch NCIS every week. That was kinda like our thing, and we don't have that anymore because of this stupid thing that is wrong with my brain. And, like, if you've ever seen my videos, it's not all bad. There are I try to make the best of bad situations because you have to. If all you do is look at the downside, you're never going to get out of the funk that you're in. And there are some, definite upsides. I'm bipolar 1, so I'm always kinda on the upper end of the energy spectrum, which means I am generally at work, I'm always the one who gets it done first, gets it done better, gets it done smarter. Whenever I have problems that I need to figure out, not only do I come up with a solution, I come up with 7 solutions, and each of those solutions, I've worked those out so many steps ahead that anytime there's a question to it, like, well, what if this happens? I already have the answer. And I have the answer before someone besides me even has the first part of the problem figured out. So there is that. And there is that kind of feeling you get when you're doing things better than everybody else, but it's a really, really shallow kinda thing. But if it's all I got, it's all I got, you know? So, this last month has been I'll say my 2nd worst episode of bipolar that I've experienced. Um, it is, February 27th right now, and I haven't been at work since January 20th because they don't even want me there because they know just how messed up I am. I went from what's called a hypersomnia, which is to maybe go to the bathroom and then you sleep for another 8 hours. I went from that and kind of a depressive state to suddenly just taking a massive turn and went manic as just manic as hell. And by manic as hell, I also mean hell. I got to the point where I again sleep for 8 or 9 days straight. During that time, I had entered into basically manic psychosis, which up until this point, I misunderstood, I guess, what that actually meant. Because when I thought psychosis, I thought you're seeing shit and, like, I'm like, oh, okay, psychosis. Maybe I'll see some fucking, unicorns. No big deal. I love unicorns. They're my thing. Really what it was I would not wake up because I hadn't slept, but sometime in the morning, I would start having memories of things from the night before. Unfortunately, there is zero possible way that any of them could have happened. Um, I had recently bought a new computer, and every evening for a week, this really nice lady would come over to help me set up my new computer. She was very nice. She was very nice. She wasn't real, but she was nice. Um, I figured it out after about 3 days when I went to my computer, and all the stuff that she had, said she had done and I had watched her done, uh, never actually happened. Never happened. I thought about firing her, uh, and that's when it hit me that no, she's not real. I can't fire her. If I could though, she'd be fired because oh my god, dude, she just sucked at her job. But the really, really fucking creepiest thing was, like, how you can put the little Post-its, on your desktop and shit? I had Post-its on my desktop signed with her name. Uh, so that was kind of that was one of the freakiest, like, that 10 minutes when I put everything kinda together, it scared it scared the fucking hell out of me to realize that I wasn't interacting with these people, but then after the fact, they were implanted into my memories. So, regardless of them being real or not, they're real enough to me right now because I can see it was like a woman and another man, and it's yes, they're not real, but they're fucking real because they're still in there. They did. What does it say when you can't even trust your own memories? I mean, on top of the fact that you're already dealing with so much, and just anxiety and nervous energy to where I cleaned my office, I believe 15 times. And it's not clean at all. And it's totally not clean, but I've cleaned it so many damn times. Um, I like I said, I got my new computer. I wiped it clean and started over, and then wiped it clean and then started over, wiped it clean, started over because I don't know, it just seemed like the right thing to do. And now on my come down, it's because I was so fucking high. Like I was in the goddamn stratosphere with this. That coming down to just normal is almost worse than depression. Because at least with depression, you're at a baseline and then you go down. With this, I had everything at the just anything I wanted at the palm of my hands, like everything I could think of. Anything I wanted to do, I would do it. I just had the energy and the willpower and the know-how. And now I just want to, relax. And I almost feel guilty for the fact that I want to relax because of where I was already. It's the strangest fucking thing. And right now, anyone who like I see a friend of mine in here who understands mania, knows that on the come down from the where I'm at right now is the most dangerous part of bipolar in general. The come down from mania is statistically where most suicides happen because of that feeling of having the world and then just letting it slip away, even though you never had it. You were fucking of it's part of the whole thing. It tricks you. It fools you into thinking that you're either a fucking god or you are z- less than zero. And I don't mean the really good movie from the 80s, Less Than Zero. I mean, like, actually less than zero. Oh, I think I'm going to watch Less Than Zero tonight. Maybe that will be the first thing I watch on television. It was a good movie. But, and then, of course, I had to get medicine changes and reevaluation for that. And I was put on the medicine that I had been hoping for so long to avoid, which is Seroquel, because that is hard fucking core. That is what they give you between that and Depakote. Those are the two things that they give you when they're like, oh shit, just fucking throw and see what sticks. Hopefully he'll fucking be okay. And I have to get my lithium levels checked again because there's no reason I should have hit basically a manic episode with psychotic ideations when I'm on as much lithium as I am. And then during the transition between bouncing off walls and laying in bed, I was having just the most horrible panic attacks. Like I couldn't get out of bed. Like my wife would get home from work and think I was sleeping, and I'm just like, no, baby, I just need you to go away. Like, please just go away. I can't handle anything right now. There was one day I took 4 milligrams of Klonopin and 4 milligrams of, oh, I can't remember the fucking name. And I still stayed awake in bed, wide open, like eyes wide open, not even like, I didn't even yawn. Didn't even yawn. That's how fucking jacked up I was. Now, anyone else takes fucking just, you take 4 milligrams of fucking Klonopin, you're in a coma. I take it and I'm like, okay, let's do exercise or some shit. Like that sort of shit scares me because I generally like to think I have a pretty good handle on what goes on just because my major episodes are so few and far between. I mean, I'll have my little 2 weekers here and there or whatever. But because I purposely go out of my way to not let this hinder me in any way, shape, or form as long as I can help it, that when episodes like this happen, it it's not just like a confidence like destroying my confidence. It destroys my like who I think of myself. Because I think of myself as an overachiever. I think of myself as the person who is always striving to get to that next level, to who is who never wants to give up because I can't. Because if I give up, that thing wins. And I don't want it to win. But every once in a while, this time it this time it won. This time it won. And I'm dealing, besides just the general feeling of what happened, I'm also dealing with the fact that it won. Like it won this time. And I don't I don't like it. I'll be fucking honest, man. I don't want that fucking piece of shit to win. I'm better than that. All right. I'm better than this fucking little fucking thing that decides to show up every once in a while and say, "Hey, fuck you, Dan." You know, I spend most of my life telling it to go fuck itself. And I guess every once in a while it gets just pissed off enough to return the favor, but I don't know. Yeah, I kind of wanted to do a kind of warts and all view of everything. I can't be, like I said, I can't be the asshole about it all the time. I mean, I'm an asshole, and I'm an asshole all the time, but there is a point where I don't win. And that that hurts so much, to the point of admitting that I don't win over my own brain. There is a part, not even a part, like the most important part of my body decides to like pull fucking pranks on me. And it's almost it's almost like he's like a fucking 5-year-old like throwing something, like throwing mud at me and then being like, haha, you're dirty. And uh, you always learn in school that you gotta learn things and challenge yourself and do what you can to keep your brain healthy and your mind active and uh, I remember going through all of that and thinking to myself, well, you know, I'm I'm just gonna say it. I'm fucking smart. All right. And if anyone thinks I'm being arrogant, I don't care. I'm actually really fucking smart. Like I got a fucking like 29 on my ACT. All right, I fucking have a bookshelf full of stuff that most people won't even fucking understand if they tried. So I thought that I basically, fed my brain and did what I was supposed to do, only to have it just fucking turn around and do everything it can to destroy me whenever it feels like it. It's it, it's like your best friend betraying you almost, because it's like it's I can't cut him off. I can't be like, all right, brain, sorry, you've been kind of being a douche lately. We're not going to hang out no more. Yeah, that I can't do that. And for the most part, we're hanging, we're cool, whatever. And then, next thing I know, I find out from someone else that, he's like banging my sister or something. And then it's like, oh, come on, brain. Really? Is that what we're doing right now? Except for except for banging my sister, he's fucking me. And for me personally, for someone who is as grounded, I guess, in facts and plans and just the way things work and how things fit together and how to make everything fit together to work the way I need it to work. To have that same guy just completely betray me. I mean, that's the best way I can put it. It's not. I mean, yes, it's a disorder, it's a disease or whatever, but it's a betrayal of the most important thing that you have, and I've had friends that have done things that afterwards got knocked out by someone. I don't know, and I've had girlfriends who have cheated on me because their mom didn't raise them right, and this is the most hurtful betrayal in my life. It really name me something that just knocks you out of life for a month or more, and while you're knocked out of life, you're going crazy as well. So you have nothing to pull your attention away from it, because I'm not working or anything like that. I'm sitting on the couch or sitting doing something, but you really have nothing intellectually stimulating to pull yourself out of it. So it just is this feedback loop that just gets worse and worse and worse until uh, eventually people who don't exist are helping you with your computer. So uh, I I wish there was a better way to handle these situations. I really do. And I really try my best. Um that's part of the reason why I am actually really proud of my channel, because every other fucking mental health channel is it's so downtrodden, and it's all woe is me, and it's all how to fit in, and what you got to do to fit in with everyone around you. And no, no, you don't need to learn how to fit in with everybody around you. You need to be better than everybody around you. And I'm sorry that nobody's told you that you're better than everybody around you, but you are. And people need to hear that. I really believe that people need to be reminded that they are better than what they've been told, than what they have thought. You know, I always say that you're twice you're twice as good as you think you are, and you're 5 times as good as what you think everyone else thinks of you. And if you could and just take that and run with it and just remember that, there so many people would be so much happier. But I can't ignore the fact either that, this shit fucking sucks at times, you know? Like I wish that, positive affirmation and, me being the fucking, like the fucking anti-hero for everybody would be enough. I really wish it was enough sometimes, but it's not even enough for me sometimes. So how can I insinuate that it's enough for them? Enough for anybody who needs it, that needs to hear it. Like I needed to hear that shit when I got diagnosed 6 years ago. Instead, I heard nothing but self-loathing, poor me, pity party, friggin', you know, here's how you have to maintain, here's how you have to be normal. And I swear to God, that put my not recovery, but my journey back to being me. That derailed me by at least a year because I fucking followed that shit. And then it took me another year to get back to the Dan that I was, because the Dan that I was pretty fucking awesome. I ain't gonna lie. But like that shit is it has its place, but it's it, it's fucking poison. It's fucking poison. Nobody should be told that because of something that they have absolutely no control over, that they are somehow a lesser person because of it. And even like therapy and stuff, you go to a therapist and it's already worked into the therapy that you're lower than everybody else, because the minute you go to therapy, it is working on trying to get you level with everybody else. It's worked into it. Now, I'm not saying don't go to therapy. Holy crap, therapy's great. Okay? My therapist is amazing. Great dude, okay? He has gotten me out of some stuff when I was kind of starting to go off the deep end. He brought me back to things. But at the same time, he never pulled that shit with me because he knew damn well not to. In fact, there's a funny story I was telling someone. My therapist doesn't do therapist stuff with me anymore because I wrote a 2-page note for him one time. I folded it up and I handed it to him, and I told him, open this up at the end of our session. And what I did is I basically therapied him. I took on the role of the therapist without him even realizing I was doing it. And then when it was over, I told him to open the letter, and he just called me an asshole. But yeah, he doesn't try and do like the normal therapy thing with me anymore. It's just more kind of talking and stuff. Like one of the therapist like tricks that they love to do is they try and do reframes. But what they do first is It's 3 softening statements and then a reframe. Well, every time he did a softening statement, I would just go like this, and then the reframe would happen, and then I do like that. Finally, after the 3rd time, he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm counting all your softening statements before your reframes." And he just went silent. He just couldn't do it anymore. He's like, "How do you know all this stuff?" I'm like, "Because I am fucking smart. I can read something and remember it for the rest of my life, unless I get, you know, fucking electrocuted again, which I'd rather I'd rather fucking die than have that happen again. I'm not even joking. Not even joking. And that's not like a fucking cry for suicide help or whatever like that. That's just, if it came down to it, I would rather be dead because I don't think I could lose that much more of my life. Like it's been too much already, and I can't handle anymore. Like just even without the memories, the fact that I lost so much of my verbal acuity. I was talking monosyllabically for 4 months. Now, I know a lot of you people can't figure it out because of the way I type, because I can't spell, and like I said, my videos are mostly just swearing and yelling, but I pride myself on my verbal acuity. I spent many, many years developing developing, just the verboseness of my vernacular, because when a person meets you, they judge your intelligence immediately, even though they don't know who you are or how smart you are. They immediately judge your intelligence by the way you speak. So made sure that when I speak with people who I need to not have, think less of me, I make sure I do not come across as basically someone who is, for lack of a better term, an idiot. I don't understand how people can, meet a new boss or something and walk up and be like, "Hey, how's it going? What's up?" No, no, that's not what you do. That's not what you do. You know, you walk up, "Oh, hey, how are you doing? I'm Dan. It was a pleasure to meet you. So, what am I going to be doing?" Just and you fill out a story with them, and you do it with larger words. In fact, sometimes you do it with such big words they don't even know what they're saying, but they're so damn embarrassed that they don't know what you're saying. They just let it go. It's hilarious. But yeah, like even my boss now, uh, he has asked me to bring it down a tad because I already have the job. And like I said, he likes to tell me that I am too smart for my own good most of the time. But I think a hint of jealousy, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. But then again, everyone's jealous of me. I'm awesome. I mean, if I wasn't me and I saw me, I'd be like, holy shit, I wish I was him. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. The only good thing though out of this last month is I can't believe I never made this connection before, but I read Nietzsche's Thus Spoke Zarathustra, and then I immediately went to Ayn Rand's Fountainhead, and then went to Catcher in the Rye. There's a theme between those, and I never picked up on it before. And I've read all those books several times. I just never read it in order. There's this. It's 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 almost like the theme of modern like civilization, because you have Nietzsche, who is dealing with the fact that basically people aren't where they should be because they're being held back by, whether it be, whether it be God or just superstition or whatever. The man is something that must be overcome, and we are not overcoming. But then you move to Ayn Rand, who figured out, well, just figured, theoried that, well, you know what? Maybe society as a whole doesn't need to evolve. Maybe we all just need to be as, selfish. We need to be in it for ourselves. We need to lose the idea of society completely because it's gotten us nowhere. And then you go to Catcher in the Rye, and you have Holden Caulfield, who basically sees, it's not spelled out in it, but it's there. He sees Ayn Rand's philosophy. He sees Nietzsche's philosophy. And that's what he is going against. Everyone thinks it's about everyone thinks it's about, not wanting to grow up. No, it's not that he doesn't want to grow up. He doesn't want to become that. And I never made that connection before, but I guess it took a lot of crazy to do it. But I don't know. Hopefully I get back to work in 2 weeks. I'm hoping, cuz I'm getting I'm just I'm beyond bored, and I'm starting to feel almost like I don't matter. Cuz at my job, I really really fucking matter. I my job is 5 jobs. And like my wife is at work all day, and like I said, I don't watch TV. So it's like I'm just starting to feel invisible, for lack of a better term. So hopefully things will hopefully 2 weeks. I'm shooting for 2 weeks. And then I can get back to work, and then I can start dealing with government paperwork, mechanical issues, friggin' idiot people who break the same thing day after day, and I don't know how they do it, but holy crap, they are a special kind of stupid. And yeah, yeah, yeah. It's been about 45 minutes. I'll call that pretty good for my first live stream. I don't know. What do you guys think? Did I go on too long? Did I make a fool of myself? Did I make a fool of you? Should I have worn a bikini? All right. Yeah. Actually, and looking at everyone who was in here, seriously, thanks, guys. This didn't make it suck. Person was in here, and they're like, "Oh shit, I thought this was like fucking PewDiePie," and I would have been like, "Oh my god, go shoot yourself." All right, guys, listen, I got nothing. Be good to each other. Be good to yourselves. Don't be good to other people who aren't good to you, though, because they don't deserve it. If someone's bad to you, they don't deserve your good to them. And then, you know, I don't know, trip them or something, walk behind them, kick their leg out, whatever. And then just keep walking like you didn't do it. So, all right, guys. Peace.